everyone, this is Veronica. Today we are going to talk about Ayushman Bharat scheme, which is a lifeline for India. So we'll do the analysis here, whether it is a pass or a fail when it is completing 1 year. For queries and my updates, video updates, you can follow me on Instagram and Facebook because I feel together we can make a difference. Now, what is the relevance of this topic in your exam? In your mains paper 2, it will be covered under health and education. At prelims level, you should know about Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana. Mains level, what is PMJ? Benefits and the road ahead. Now, talking about the context, Ayushman Bharat is basically a very conscious attempt where we want to address health encompassing prevention, promotion and ambulatory care at all the 3 levels, whether it is primary level, secondary level or the tertiary level. Now here you can see 5 lakh annual insurance cover per family. So this is a flagship health insurance scheme also. So it has completed a year. The scheme was launched in Ranchi on September 23, 2018. So now you can say how much has been spent on treatment, impaneled hospitals, 53% private sector hospitals are included, and how many people have availed cashless treatment. Now talking about PMJ, it basically promises to bring healthcare to poorest through 2 components. The 2 components are its health and wellness centers, and second is your health insurance. In health and wellness centers, they promise to deliver comprehensive primary health care through development of 1.5 lakh health and wellness centers, and insurance scheme is where they deliver secondary and tertiary care to 55 crore people through a health cover of rupees 5 lakh per family per year. Now see, Ayushman, talking here about Ayushman Bharat, it has been designed based on idea that prevention is always better than cure, and no one should fail or fall into poverty because of expenditure on healthcare or die because they cannot afford the treatment. Now it promises free healthcare to the poorest 55 crore people as it is written here. It would also help them to avoid the catastrophic healthcare expenditure that pushes around 6 crore people below the poverty line every year. Now talking about its journey so far, more than 20,000 health and wellness centers have been made operational. More than 5 crore people have been screened for a whole range of common non-communicable diseases. More than 45 lakh hospitals admissions have taken place for cashless treatment in more than 18,000 empaneled hospitals across the country, resulting in savings of more than 13,000 crore for the beneficiary families. So Ayushman Bharat has actually provided a platform and framework for the country to accelerate its progress towards comprehensive universal health care. Now talking about states, how well the states has done. So in several states and union territories, it has been an opportunity that they have extended the already existing benefits to far larger numbers beyond those covered under the original schemes. There are around 11 states and union territories who have expanded the already existing coverage to include almost all families of these states and union territories. They have expanded the benefits to the beneficiary base. They have expanded the base also with the same benefit coverage as under PMJ or lower. Now several states have merged their many ongoing schemes with Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana to make implementation simpler for both the beneficiaries and participating hospitals. They don't need to deal with different target groups, rates and reporting systems. For example, here I'll give you an example of Karnataka. It has merged 7 existing schemes into one, and then if you talk about Kerala, it has merged 3 different schemes into one. Now talking about private sector participation. So more than half of the empaneled hospitals here are private, and 62% of treatments have been done by the private hospitals. Now PMJ, it has created a massive demand for private and public sector services by making hospital facilities accessible to 55 crore people. And if you talk about tier 2 and tier 3 cities, private sector hospitals are witnessing an almost 20% increase in footfall, and public sector facilities have streamlined their processes so as to improve service quality and amenities with funds from PMJ. Now, talking in terms of employment, with setting up of 1.5 lakh health wellness centers by 2022, that is the target. So we are expecting 1.5 lakh jobs that will be created for the community, including 50,000 multi-purpose health workers. And it has already generated approximately 50,000 to 60,000 jobs in first year itself, and expected to add 12.5 lakh jobs in both public and private sectors over the next 3 or 5 years. Now 90% of them are in the healthcare sector, these jobs, and the remaining in the allied sector such as your insurance sector, implementation support. 1.5 lakh beds will be added to existing and new hospitals, and this will lead to creation of around 7.5 lakh new opportunities. If you talk about doctors, nurses, technicians, pharmacists and frontline healthcare workers such as Pradhan Mantri Arogya Mitras. Next thing that is very important here is your IT infrastructure, because this whole scheme is supported by a very strong IT backbone that facilitates the identification of beneficiaries, records treatments, processes claims, receives feedback and addresses the grievances. If you can see, you can find a live dashboard also, which helps in monitoring and improving the performance based on real-time data and regular analysis. So this platform also helps states to compare their performances also. A strong and sophisticated fraud prevention, detection and control system at national and state level ensures that frauds are largely prevented. So in this case, what could be the way ahead? Now we have to tap the potential of collective bargaining and leveraging economies to scale to deliver affordable and quality healthcare through devices, implants and supplies, because we have to see the cost effectiveness also and affordability also. We need to see prescribing and ensuring adherence to standard treatment protocols. We need to strengthen the linkage between these centers and the scheme. And for the greenfield states are the states which have no past experience of implementing healthcare schemes. They have to work harder to scale up to their progress. And India will make sure healthcare is no longer a privilege and is available to every Indian. So this is the way ahead. Now there is a question for you. Can Ayushman Bharat make for a healthier India? You need to critically analyze this. And is Ayushman Bharat going to enlarge the role of private sector in healthcare? You need to analyze this. So I'll discuss the first question with you here. See, Ayushman Bharat is one of the most important flagship schemes of government of India. So that is why it is very important for the exam point of view also, and now it has completed 1 year also. So the scheme has been lauded for its progressive provisions and criticized also at the same time for many deficiencies. Therefore, it is important to learn more about the scheme and analyze its pros and cons limitations. So here you need to critically analyze. That means you have to examine methodically the structure and nature of the topic. So the demand of the question is you need to delve deep into the objectives and strategies. So how we will structure it? Firstly, you will write the introduction. You will write few lines about Ayushman Bharat scheme. For example, when it was introduced, persons covered, and key objectives. Ayushman Bharat scheme, you can say it's the largest government funded health program called NHPS. Don't forget to mention about it, covering about 10 crore families or approximately 50 crore population. You can mention rupees 5 lakh insurance cover per family per year. So you can talk here, this scheme is for secondary and tertiary healthcare, mainly for the hospital care. So this is the introduction. Then comes your body. In body, you will discuss the pros. Okay, pros we have already discussed. So in the answer here, I'll discuss the cons. So pros you know already. I have discussed in the right now. I have discussed in the lecture. So for the cons, you have to give that the states are expected to agree 40% share under NHPS, and that health being a state subject, state ownership and commitment will be critical for the success. This is the one thing, because role of state is very important. However, given the states are expected to agree for 40% share, the health being a state subject, state ownership and commitment will be critical. The most critical issue remains limited and uneven distribution of human resources at various level of health services. So with up to 40% of health worker posts lying vacant in some states. So here cons mainly are you can blame it on the states. And then at the conclusion, based on your discussion, from a fair and balanced conclusion, you have to conclude it. This is how you approach a answer in the exam. Now you can practice it. Thank you. So this is the channel StudyIQ. If you're preparing for UPSC or any government exam, our pen drive and tablet courses are available. If you're preparing for UPSC CSE 2020, our pen drive course is available where you can find 100% coverage of UPSC vast syllabus. Daily current affair updates will be available. Self-paced learning process is provided. This course has been prepared by top faculties of StudyIQ, and now you can purchase this course at Rs 625 per month only. For additional information, you can visit our site, and there are the phone numbers also given. You can call them and gain the additional information. You can connect with me for my video updates on Instagram and Facebook, because I feel together we can make a huge difference. For queries, you can even email me. Thank you so much.